Hi, Mr. Rajol. Good evening. How are you doing? Thank you, Shiv, for joining in. How are you doing?
All good. How are you? Am I audible?
Yes, yes. Hi, Rishi. How are you? Good evening.
Good. I'm just trying to
Am
see
I
if
audible?
you fair enough. Wow. Yes, yes, loud and clear.
Lovely. Okay, so thank you so much, Vikas, for joining in. Lovely. Great to have you here. Aditya, thank you for joining. Hi, Yash. How are you doing? Thank you for joining in. All right, so Rishi, why don't you start by introducing yourself and as and when people are joining in and they'll be here.
Sure. So, first, thank you so much for the opportunity, Richa. It's really good connecting with you, and it's a nice sort of topic that we both are fond of. And just for audience, we both stay in the same city, but we hardly catch up in person. She's in Raipur right now, and I came back to Mumbai today, and that's how we are, touch base with us with each other. So my name is
Yep.
Rishi. I'm, what do you call it? Based out of Mumbai, and I've been into training for last 7 years. I'm a co-author of a book called Break Your Leadership Chakravyuh, which I've co-authored with my wife Mehak Majan Nanda. And we also used to have a television program of our own. It's just the first season ended, which was on Epic Channel, Break Your
Mhm.
Chakravyuh. I'm a podcaster. My podcast is there on Saregama Karwa, the Jukebox, which is Mahabharat ki kahani, Rishi ki zubani. So I'm sure you would have, understood by now. I'm very passionate about Indian epics, about ancient Indian history. I take
Mhm.
sessions dedicated based on Indian epics. That's Ramayana, Mahabharata, Bhagavad Gita, Vishnu Puran, Shiv Puran. But apart from that, yes, I also do behavioral trainings. I'm an MBTI certified practitioner, situation leadership certified trainer. But I blend. I am a storyteller. That's what I like to believe. Yeah, so that's what I do.
And I love the way you say your stories. I think it's very captivating, Rishi. So thank you for that nice, kind introduction. For those who have just joined in, hi Rizul, hi Prakriti. Thank you so much for joining. Just like to give a quick introduction of myself. So my name is Richa Maheshwari. For those who don't know me, I've been into the space of motivational speaking and corporate training since the last 12 and a half years. Love what I do. I'm very passionate about empowering and transforming lives. And I think motivating people is something which is there in my DNA. So it's just comes by default. I just love what I do, so I'm very passionate about it. And that's a little bit about me. So guys, everyone who's joined in, thank you so much for being here. First of all, I appreciate you all taking out time from your busy schedule to join in here and learn something from this particular live session, which is on personal excellence, a key to growth and success. So what we're going to talk about, quickly throwing some light into the agenda, we'll talk about why is personal excellence important for growth. How can one build a lot of personal excellence in their like improvement of their own self in that journey of life, because all of us ultimately want success, right? Who doesn't want to be successful? Anybody here who doesn't want to be? I doubt. Every one of us wants to be successful. So how do you imbibe those qualities, those characteristics, those attributes which are essential for people who have become successful rather? So we'll talk a little bit about those attributes and characteristics. Okay, Rishi, so over to you.
Yeah.
Let's understand what is personal excellence and why is it important.
So see, personal excellence would be basically where I channelize my entire energy, skill set, intrinsic motivation to achieve something for myself that I believe in, and that's what also where it would lead to self excellence.
Hmm.
Now, basically, what happens is there could be a couple of components when it comes to self excellence or personal effectiveness and all. So it could be first you need to be very clear what you want to do. Once you're
Hmm.
clear, then you need to be accountable for that. The
Hmm.
ownership lies with you. You have to be
Hmm.
very clear about it. I always tell that a lot of people will help you. Genuinely, a lot of people will help you. To do what you want. But at the end of the day, you should never bank on people, or you should never bank on a person. मतलब मैं
Hmm.
करना चाहता हूँ मैं करूंगा मैं किसी के भरोसे नहीं करता हूँ अगर किसी
Hmm.
ने मदद कर दी तो ठीक है नहीं किया तो भी I'll find someone else what else to do so the
Hmm.
ownership is mine the accountability is mine and I believe that you have to be very very disciplined you have to be very disciplined in what you do it could be doing the same thing again and again every single day for years and years but you have to do it with the same amount of dedication discipline
Hmm.
passion determination level and all and you need to be agile. I think, learning agility plays a very crucial role over there, because you keep learning every day, every single day. That's what personal excellence would mean, because I cannot stop learning. I cannot believe that I know everything in and out. So I think these would be the
Absolutely.
basic of, personal excellence, or, personal effectiveness, or self excellence, however you'd like to put it.
Absolutely. And just adding to what Rishi has mentioned, I think it's so important for us as individuals to be on that path of growth and, to think
True.
of, how can I improve myself? How can I better myself? The competition really is within ourselves. We don't have to really compete with others. I know it's easier said than done, but when you are on your path of excellence, I think the most important thing you have to do is get out of your comfort zone, because it takes a lot of willpower to really step out of your comfort zone and go into a zone which is challenging for you. And if you
True.
really want to become successful and have that aura about you of success, I think it's most important to really break those barriers, those mindsets which are stopping you from excellence, stopping you from getting to that zone where you can achieve it all. I mean, everything is available for everybody. There are no restrictions. ऐसा नहीं है कि ऋषि को ये मिलेगा, ऋचा को ये नहीं मिलेगा, or whatever it is. But it's everything is freely available. It is just about how much are we able to get out of our own mind, because ultimately I feel our mindsets are prisons.
True. True.
कितनी बार ऐसा होता है कि हम सोचते हैं कुछ करने का बट कर नहीं पाते, because we ourselves are restricting ourselves.
True.
So I
True.
think that's a very, very important component of personal excellence, जहां पर you have to challenge yourself every single day. Are you doing something which will help you to get on that path of excellence or no?
So, actually, what you said now. So, as I said, I like to share stories. So, I just recollect a very, very small, very powerful story. So,
Right.
because whatever you said right now, it really beautifully fits in that story. So let's do this, like a small role play. Okay. So, like over here, I'll pick up a story from Ramayana, and let's say you're Ram. Okay, you're Bhagwan Ram.
Okay.
Okay. So, I'll
First
ask
of
you a
all,
question.
sorry, I am not very much into epics, so
No,
मुझे
that's
माफ
okay. That's
करना
okay.
अगर if I
No,
don't
no, no.
know
I'll set the
some
context. I'll
characters.
set everything. I'll set the context, everything. I'll ask you a very simple question, so you need to reply.
Super.
That's perfectly fine. Okay.
Okay.
So, now, so let's say एक दिन क्या होता है ना कि गुरु विश्वामित्र जो होते हैं ना, वो आते हैं महाराज दशरथ के सभा में, और उन्हें
Hmm.
कहते हैं कि मुझे राम की आवश्यकता है ताड़का का वध करने के लिए, राम को
Hmm.
मेरे साथ भेज दो। अब
Hmm.
महाराज दशरथ कहते हैं राम तो बालक है प्रभु, वो तो 15-16 साल का युवक है, वो तो कोई आज तक युद्ध भी नहीं गया, ताड़का का वध कैसे कर सकता है? आप कहो
Hmm.
तो मैं और मेरी पूरी सेना आपके साथ चलेगी, हम ताड़का का वध करने के लिए आपकी मदद करेंगे। सो ताड़का वाज अ
Hmm.
बिग डिमिनिस, लाइक बिग ह्यूज।
Hmm.
एंड विश्वामित्र इज लाइक, मैं तुम्हें पूछ नहीं रहा हूं, मैं तुम्हें बता रहा हूं कि मुझे राम की आवश्यकता है। तुम राम
Hmm.
को भेज सकते हो कि नहीं भेज सकते हो, बस ये निर्णय तुम दे सकते हो, तुम मुझे बता दो बस।
Hmm.
अब विश्वामित्र गुरु भी थोड़े गुस्से में आ रहे थे। नाउ महाराज दशरथ इज ऑल्सो इन अ डिलेमा व्हाट टू डू। सो
Hmm.
बाय दैट टाइम ना देयर कुल गुरु कम्स ओवर देयर, ओके,
Hmm.
गुरु वशिष्ठ, एंड ही सेज के, ही टेल्स टू द किंग कि महाराज दशरथ आपको घबराने की कोई आवश्यकता नहीं है, ताड़का का
Hmm.
वध तो गुरु विश्वामित्र खुद ही कर सकते, इतने बड़े क्षत्रिय थे पहले, तो
Hmm.
आपको कोई भी आपके मन में भय नहीं होना चाहिए। मुझे
Hmm.
लगता है कि आप राम को इनके यहाँ भेज सकते हो, तो राम
Hmm.
जी जो है युद्ध की नीति इनसे सीख लेंगे, या राम जी बहुत कुछ इनसे ज्ञान प्राप्त कर लेंगे, और
Hmm.
राम जी को इनसे अच्छा गुरु नहीं मिल सकता है।
Hmm.
मान जाते हैं। वो कहते हैं ठीक है, गुरुदेव उनको एक कक्ष में बिठाते हैं कि आप बैठिए, मैं राम को भेजता हूँ, ठीक है। सो नाउ
Hmm.
यर रामा कम, सो यू आर राम, ओके। सो आई सेट
Hmm.
द क्वेश्चन context, I'll ask you a question, you need to reply. So
Hmm.
now over there, Maharaj Daksh tells Ramji ke, go and meet Guru Vishwamitra. They both have not met each other as of now.
Hmm.
ठीक है। गुरु विश्वामित्र जो अपने कमरे में बैठे हैं,
Hmm.
बाहर दरवाजा है, वो दरवाजे के बाहर खड़े हैं,
Hmm.
राम जी नॉक करते हैं, गुरु पूछते हैं कौन है,
Hmm.
ठीक है। सो यू आर रामा, यू नॉक द डोर, गुरु
Hmm.
सिटिंग इनसाइड, ही इज आस्किंग कौन है, आप
Hmm.
क्या जवाब देंगे? व्हाट विल यू आंसर?
Uh, the fact that I am Ram, so I will answer Ram हूँ मैं.
करेक्ट,
Right?
करेक्ट। सो
Hmm.
लॉट ऑफ पीपल से कि हम कहेंगे राम है, कोई कहेंगे दशरथ पुत्र है,
Hmm.
अयोध्या के राजकुमार है, मैं कौशल्या
Hmm.
नंदन हूँ, आपने ताड़का का वध करने के लिए मुझे बुलाया, मैं क्षत्रिय हूँ, सब ऐसे कहते। बट
Hmm.
दैट वाज द ब्यूटी।
Hmm.
राम जी सेड, यही हम जानने हैं गुरुदेव हम कौन है।
Oh,
And by the
amazing.
statement, now he surrenders himself to the Guru. Now, it's a very
Hmm.
small conversation, but what happened, what you rightly said now, lot of
Hmm.
time, people will be very, they'll have a lot of अपने डेजिग्नेशन को, अपने ग्रेड को,
Hmm.
अपने हिस्ट्री को, अपने अचीवमेंट्स को, अपनी नॉलेज को ना, वो लोग इतना
Hmm.
सीरियसली ले लेते हैं कि वो ही उनका ग्रोथ में बैरियर बन जाता है। And
got it.
Rama was aware that over here I'm going to meet a guru. So if I
Hmm.
use my designation, if I
Hmm.
use my grade, if I use my
Hmm.
name now, that will be a wall. But if
Hmm.
I want to grow, if I want to succeed now, first thing
Hmm.
is I need to break the wall only. I need to break
Hmm.
the entire thought process that I have, and therefore
Hmm.
he goes and surrenders himself to Guru. So
Hmm.
now, obviously when I read this, I realized that whenever there's something you do good in life, and then I feel वो राम ने उन्हें ना अपने नाम पे, ना जन्म पे, ना कर्म पे, ना धर्म पे, ना राज पे, ना पिता पे, किसी पे भी मान सम्मान नहीं था. What have you achieved in life that
Hmm.
you're so egoistic or arrogant about your achievements. So I think
Absolutely.
that is the moment that where I
Hmm.
realized that if you want to do anything great in life now, you have to
Hmm.
be humble enough, break down all the shackles, and be
Hmm.
ready to learn whatever
Hmm.
your designation or grade or success in life is. So
Hmm.
what you all said right now, na, so I think it just fitted in that story. So yeah, I
Wonderful,
just
wonderful. Thank you. I think thanks a lot for sharing that, Rishi. I think I'm sure the audience have also found it to be very enlightening, this particular story. So I think, what you said, it's very true, letting go of our ego, our self-esteem and our, overconfidence at times, which comes in, we are all human beings at the end of the day, right? वो
true,
कहीं ना
true,
कहीं तो
true,
आता है. But then the most successful people are the most humble ones.
true, true,
Yeah. So I
true,
think that's one very, very important quality to have. Always be
true,
humble. Always be down to earth. जितना भी कुछ achieve कर लिया, at the end of the, your lifespan, you're going to leave everything behind. You're not taking
true,
anything
true,
with you. So ये
true,
arrogance, ego सब छोड़ के try to be humble. And I think it's important to also help each other in the process of, your journey together, because everyone is having their own issues, their own challenges, their own battles. सब कोई कुछ ना कुछ फेस कर ही रहे हैं. So I think that's a very important mindset to have. Be humble, let go of your ego. I think one more very important, point, Rishi, I also want to talk about is, a lot of people find it very difficult to, stick to habits. And I'm sure, please, in the audience also, let us know, if this question is relevant for you. How many of you really find it difficult to stick to a habit? Because ultimately, small habits make a bigger impact.
true.
हमारे हमारी जो जिंदगी है वो छोटे छोटे हैबिट्स से बनती है. सो लॉट ऑफ टाइम पीपल टेल मी दैट रिचा, मैंने आई हैव मेड दिस रेजोल्यूशन, न्यू ईयर रेजोल्यूशन, या ये मैंने अपने आप को एक हैबिट आई हैव फॉर्म्ड इट, बट आई डोंट हैव द कंसिस्टेंसी टू स्टिक टू दैट हैबिट. एक महीना 2 महीने करूंगा या एक हफ्ता 2 हफ्ता, एंड उसके बाद इट जस्ट goes down the drain. How does one really stick to their habits?
Correct. So I'll tell you before now. So I'm sure you would not have tried that. What I'm going to ask, but a lot of people in the audience, and it's
Hmm.
universal. A lot of people will be able to relate to what I'm saying. So I always ask, whenever we are in a session ना, कि
Hmm.
मेरे जैसे इस रूम में कितने महान लोग हैं, जिन्होंने वेट कम करने का सोचा है. किया नहीं किया छोड़ दो, सोचा है, सिर्फ सोचा है वो बता दो. एंड ट्रस्ट मी 60% पीपल विल रेज द हैंड क्या सोचा तो है. नाउ आई टेल दैट द डे यू थॉट of reducing your weight now, the day you thought, on the very same day or next day now, your favorite food will be served in front of you,
Ah.
or your friends will come and say चलो आज पार्टी करते हैं. एंड
Hmm.
देन वी वुड से हाँ हाँ चलो कोई बात नहीं, अब हम ये
Hmm.
कल से शुरू करेंगे, और वो कल कभी
और
नहीं
कल
आता.
कभी आता ही नहीं है.
कभी नहीं आता, कभी नहीं आता. Because what
I.
happens now, what
Hmm.
I've realized is that if I think to do something better now, okay,
Hmm.
and if it was so easy to implement now, then
Hmm.
everyone would have been a very successful person, like a Ratan
Hmm.
Tata sir or Abdul Kalam sir or Mukesh
Hmm.
Ambani sir. सब लोग हो जाते हैं कि सोचने और करने में क्या है. The difference
Exactly.
is just between thinking and implementing, and
Hmm.
that is where discipline comes into the picture.
Hmm.
Now, invariably, now what happens is that a lot of people, generally a lot of people feel that, I want to do it, but I don't have the drive, I don't have time, and all those things, which is fair enough. And it is
Hmm.
it is the way we are designed. It is the
Hmm.
way human beings are designed. It is not easy for us to, to be disciplined. It's not easy for us, to be on the path of positivity. The way we are designed.
Right.
First, I'll
Hmm.
explain you how. So let's say I always check with people audience that
Hmm.
if you all are listening to me, cheat day क्या बस
I like
वो
what
हर दिन ही cheat day होगा.
Kiran's
हाँ,
song has written.
absolutely,
हमारा हर दिन
absolutely.
cheat day होता है.
हर दिन cheat day होता है हमारा.
Good one.
अब अभी हाँ, तो हर दिन हमारा cheat day होता है ना.
Hmm.
So so let's say everything in the audience, if you can just say yes or no, or whatever, or thumbs up or
Hmm.
something. So how many of you all like drink aerated drinks like Thumbs Up, Pepsi, Coca-Cola, McDonald's, alcohol, cigarette,
Hmm.
any one of them, not all, but any one of them. If
Hmm.
couple of people can just respond, or you
Yeah.
can let us know. So it
Let
could.
us know in the chat box,
Yeah,
whichever.
let us know in the chat box, like a
Hmm.
thumbs up or something. Then
Hmm.
do you have thumbs up, Pepsi, Limca,
Hmm.
McDonald's, KFC, Domino's,
I think
burgers?
सभी लोग, everybody.
सभी लोग होते हैं, correct? And then I
हाँ.
checked with them, how many of you like bitter gourd juice regularly, करेले का juice
Hmm.
regularly? Trust me, very
Hmm.
few people across India has raised their hand. And then I
Hmm.
checked with the audience, what is good for health?
Hmm.
Everyone will say karele ka juice. Now
Hmm.
what happens is now we are
Hmm.
aware that karele ka juice or bitter gourd juice is
Hmm.
better and good for our health as compared to thumbs up. Yet
Right.
people will do that because we have been designed in that way. And every
Hmm.
second shop in India now will serve thumbs
Hmm.
up, Pepsi,
Hmm.
whatever it is. It will not serve bitter good because the challenge is to move towards positivity. There are
Hmm.
n number of books, art of positivity, think
Hmm.
positive, subconscious and all. How many
Right.
books have you read? Art of thinking negative.
Hmm.
Because by default, we are a very
They're
lazy
designed that
species.
way.
We are
Our brains are
designed.
designed to be more negative than positive, and that's the reason why news sells like hotcakes, right?
Correct,
Because
correct. So,
hmm.
so what happens is that if you want to do anything, anything
Hmm.
you want to develop a habit or anything, I always tell people,
Hmm.
spend 3 4 days first jotting down the points. Why
Hmm.
do you want to do it?
Hmm.
Micro, macro, personal, professional reasons. Just
Hmm.
write down the reasons. Why do you want to implement that particular, learning? Why do you want to develop that habit? Because
Hmm.
there's a quote, since childhood we all have learned. Bigger
Hmm.
the why, easier the how. Where there is a will,
Hmm.
there is a way. Muhammad Ali, the great boxer, has said that the will needs to be stronger than the skill to be successful in life.
Hmm.
So first, now 3 4 days, just write down the reasons why you want to do it,
As
and
Simon Sinek also said, in his concept of the golden circle, if your why
yeah,
is clear, your how and what will follow. So your why has
yeah,
to be
yeah,
very, very clear.
yeah,
आप
yeah, yeah.
क्यों कर रहे
So
हैं? जो भी कर रहे हैं वो
yeah.
क्यों कर रहे हैं?
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, fair enough. So it always goes, start with the why, whatever you want to call it, because that why is very important. And
Hmm.
what happens is because whenever we want to implement something now,
Hmm.
we will not see success in coming 3 4 days.
Hmm.
We get demotivated. नहीं हो रहा है, नहीं होगा, चल छोड़ दे, मेरे बस का नहीं, we leave it. You need
Hmm.
to read, we need to read those pointers every day. So it should
Hmm.
be on your mobile phone, it could be like what do you call a screensaver on your laptop, wherever it is now. But
Hmm.
you need to read those points because those points will only give you the motivation how to
Hmm.
bounce back and be disciplined, and because you need to
Hmm.
see what is the end picture, what's going to be the benefit. But when
Right.
negativity enters the mind now, then everything goes for a toss. So
Hmm.
therefore I tell people write it down and just keep reading it every single day, and then I think you're more
Hmm.
than sorted.
Hmm. And
That
just to
that's the
add to
way.
that point, Rishi, I think it's very important whenever you're forming any particular habit, start छोटे से.
छोटे से,
Small
yeah,
से
yeah,
start करिए. Because कभी कभी क्या होता है, like I want to lose weight, for example. I will plan a 10-kilometer marathon, but I have never even walked for 1 kilometer. So,
yeah, yeah.
don't set goals which are unrealistic because then ultimately वो demotivation होगा ही. So
Correct,
start
correct.
small. अगर आप कोई habit build करना चाहते हैं, you want to go on a diet, you want to build your health, you want to, make sure that you are
It could be leadership
whatever you
skill, it
want
could
to
be
be.
listening, it could be
Always start,
anything. Yeah,
yes, always start small so that you get that
take a baby
motivation
step.
to continue, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah, I agree. Because once you take
Hmm.
a baby step, then you also see some success. So, obviously, then you
Yes,
will,
you
feel good
automatically you
about
get
it.
motivated
Uh,
about it. Hmm.
correct.
That's very important. And I think a core piece which I would like to add to this, how do you stick to habits? 21 days. It's been proven, that any habit that you want to imbibe या change, उसको आप 21 days continuously करिए without fail. Make a
Correct.
calendar, keep marking it, in the calendar कि कितना आपने
Correct.
कितना किया है या so 21 days consistency important है. That's been proven research data कि आप करें and then definitely you will see some difference there.
Correct. And just though Richa has clarified, but I just repeated, it's 21
Hmm.
consecutive days of friends. It's not 21 days.
Oh yes,
So because body
21
and mind does not
consistent.
understand Diwali, Christmas, Eid, Baisakhi, Onam, Makar Sankranti, Happy New Year, Saturday, Sunday. It understands only discipline and routine. So whatever you do, you have to do it for 21 consecutive days. After 10 days, if you take a break of one day, my friend, you have to do it all over again. It's 21 consecutive days because you do it for 10 minutes, you do it for 1 hour. That is irrelevant, but you have to do it. You have to do it for 10 minutes, because then only you're putting something that conscious effort and it becomes part of your daily practice, So it's
Hmm.
21 consecutive days, and it could be anything from weight loss to, bodybuilding or,
Hmm.
improving your art of listening or obligation
Hmm.
management, being assertive, you
Hmm.
going for meditation, going for a walk, whatever you
Hmm.
want to do, 21 consecutive days. So that the key word over there is that, the reason I said that because
Absolutely.
sometimes people is okay, Monday to Saturday, then I'll take a break of 1 or 2 days, then again I go back because
वो
it
cheat
doesn't
days
work.
आ जाएंगे सैटरडे संडेज और वीकेंड
हाँ,
cheat
हाँ.
days, right? So
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
absolutely, that is there. Any other points you feel, Rishi, apart from habits, being self-disciplined and all of that, any other aspect you'd like to touch upon when it comes to being, having personal excellence?
So I think, first is that you need to believe in yourself a lot because there'll be
Hmm.
times that people around you will not believe in you, whatever you want
Hmm.
to do. Because probably
Hmm.
you'll not be able to explain it to them because what you see others can't see. And I think
Hmm.
that's the beauty. And I think if what you see and others can see, now there's no beauty in that. That means a very generic thing. So first is your belief
Hmm.
in yourself should be extremely high. You need to, a
Hmm.
lot of self-talk needs to be there. A lot of positive talk needs to be there. Because
Hmm.
हम जैसे इंडियन एपिक सनातन धर्म में ना एक बड़ा इंटरेस्टिंग एक इंसिडेंट जिसे समुद्र मंथन कहते हैं. So not
Hmm.
taking usually we take a lot of learnings from that, but one of my biggest learning has been from the samudra manthan, which always keeps me
Hmm.
motivated in my life, is that कि अमृत जो है ना वो जहर के
Hmm.
बाद ही मिलता है. पहले
Hmm.
उस जहर को पीना पड़ता है, वो जहर को
Right.
निकलना पड़ता है, क्योंकि
Hmm.
अगर आपने जहर को पी लिया और एडजस्ट कर लिया तो महादेव, अगर
Hmm.
जहर ने आपको पी लिया ना तो बस खत्म हो गया यहाँ पे. तो दैट फेज विल
Hmm.
100% कम, 100% दैट फेज विल कम, बट यू हैव
Hmm.
टू ensure that when your time is tough now, that
Hmm.
self talk is extremely important,
Hmm.
so that is there. Plus, again, going back, learning needs to be there. You cannot stop learning and everything
Hmm.
goes as you rightly said. And I also
Hmm.
believe you need to focus on your strength,
Hmm.
focus on the controllables, as it's very popularly called, या तो आप उसे सेवन हैबिट्स का सर्कल ऑफ कंट्रोल कहिए, या आप उसे
Hmm.
भगवत गीता का कहिए कि कर्म कर फल की चिंता मत कर. दोनों का मतलब
Hmm.
सेम ही अंश में. Focus on
Hmm.
what you can do rather than what you cannot do, because the
Hmm.
moment you focus on the controllables now, your thought process changes. You'll focus
Hmm.
on the solution, and you'll stop giving excuses to yourself. So I
Hmm.
think that plays a very, very crucial role over there,
And
so
this
that.
is a very important point, Rishi, that you made, giving excuses. Because ultimately, मैंने काफी देखा है, people all around, and I'm also included in that. Sometimes we just love these excuses. कुछ भी होगा, we have a ready-made excuse ready. In the audience, how many of you love to give excuses? Please put it down, give us a thumbs up or yes, no, कुछ तो.
Or you
Yeah,
just
let's
give an
make it more
excuse.
interactive.
So,
यस तो हाँ नहीं बट आई थिंक ये एक्सक्यूजेस देना जो एक हैबिट होता है अगेन इट्स वेरी वेरी काफी लोग ऐसा हर एक चीज के लिए दे हैव अ रेडी एक्सक्यूज बट अल्टीमेटली पीपल हु आर सक्सेसफुल डोंट बैंक ऑन दीज एक्सक्यूजेस दे आर ओवर
correct.
एंड अबव दीज एक्सक्यूजेस दैट्स व्हाई दे आर वेयर दे आर टुडे इन लाइफ and if
One of the
one
managers,
wants
one
to
of
be
the managers,
successful one wants
yeah,
to have that growth in their journey I think excuses को बिल्कुल लाइफ से बाहर निकाल देना चाहिए you have to push it out however
correct.
difficult it is.
Correct. So my manager, used to tell me when I was in corporate now, at the
Hmm.
end of the year, you know, either you will give me excuses or results, and your
Hmm.
appraisal depends on that.
Ah.
He made it absolutely clear. He said either excuse or result. Whatever you give me, your appraisal depends on that.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
one thing I've realized, Richa, which I really believe, and after like now I've been into entrepreneurship for 11 years, I genuinely believe that, the biggest distraction,
Hmm.
for us to achieve our ultimate goal is our own success. Our
Yep.
success is a distraction. It is
Hmm.
a pure distraction, so somewhere I always tell people, don't get carried away with it,
Hmm.
whatever you're achieving now, be
Hmm.
humble. Raat gayi, baat gayi, next day, again you have to
Hmm.
be on your feet, again you have to prove yourself,
Hmm.
again, in a very popular line I say always, हर दिन आपको जीवन का चक्र वो तोड़ना है फिर आगे निकलना है, because success is a pure distraction.
Hmm.
अगर आप weight lose करने जाते हो 1 किलो कम, अरे चलो खुश हो गए, आप complacent हो जाओगे और आपको
Yeah.
तो 10
Very
किलो
true.
यूज करना है. So
Hmm.
success is a distraction, I really believe, till. And
Hmm.
what is your ultimate goal, when people ask, there's nothing, it's just happiness and pure self excellence,
Hmm.
it's personal excellence, and that has to take place till the last moment of my life. Whatever you do, enjoy
Hmm.
your work, try to give your best, focus on the controllable parameters over there. There
Hmm.
will be ups and downs, when there are downs, reflect, pause, reflect upon it, what went right, what went wrong, what you could have done better. When you're
Hmm.
successful, just move ahead. There's a
Hmm.
concept that we speak about, actually I learned from a participant. To be honest, I've learned maximum thing from participants only. So there was this
True. Very
participant who said
true.
that I implement the window and mirror concept.
Hmm.
I said, okay, so I said, it's a very catchy line. What does it mean? He said,
Hmm.
whenever anything goes right in my life, whenever I achieve anything in my life, I look outside the window. And then
Hmm.
I realize there are hundreds of people who have
Hmm.
helped me to achieve what I have achieved.
Wow.
So my gratitude
Hmm.
level is high. I said, okay.
Hmm.
And he said, whenever things go wrong now, I look into the mirror.
Hmm.
Before
Hmm.
I point fingers to people, I look into the mirror. What have
Hmm.
you done wrong? First, get your point, act straight. Because when you're pointing one finger to the other person, four are pointing towards you, or three are pointing towards you, whatever. He said, there's
Hmm.
always a window in mirror. He said, the
Hmm.
blame is mine, but probably the credit goes to other. And I
Hmm.
think it's a very wonderful thing to do, and it really
Hmm.
works a lot. So I think,
Absolutely.
yeah, people should not get carried away with success
Hmm.
because
And it's a journey to be enjoyed, really. So don't look at success as the end or the final destination. It's a journey. Enjoy the journey while you're here, and take those moments or those memories with you, as you go along.
yeah, party one night hard. That's it. Because if you start, I genuinely believe if you start uh, getting happy with small success, you know,
Hmm.
you will never get the ultimate success. You
Hmm.
don't know what you're meant for it. So
Hmm.
probably if I do anything good, in case now I'm happy that night I sleep, or
Hmm.
and this is my mantra. It has been there for 7 years. I finish a
Hmm.
workshop invariably,
Hmm.
whatever, wherever I am now.
Hmm.
Next, after half an hour, I'll open the laptop. Even if I'm traveling, I'll be on phone. I'll move on to the next workshop because I think
Hmm.
it should not get into your head. It should never ever
Yeah.
get into your head.
Hmm.
So yeah, so I think
And I
that is
think
very
also,
important.
there's very, I mean, I honestly feel this, अपने आप को reward करना भी बहुत important है. Any
Yeah, yeah.
milestone you achieve for yourself, it's important to keep rewarding yourself. Like I reward myself to donuts because I love donuts. तो कभी भी कुछ अच्छा होता है, I am at the donut shop, treating
Yeah,
myself to
yeah.
a donut. So I think it's so important too because it's just self motivation कि आपने कुछ किया, you want to reward yourself, you have that feel good factor, right? So
Yeah, yeah.
वो भी करना
So
जरूरी
I
है and
also reward myself with my two donuts. मेरे भी घर पे
two
दो नट है.
donuts.
Yeah, yeah.
अच्छा.
My kids.
Your kids.
वो भी दो नट है उसके साथ. Now they're
I
looking at
know
me.
you're on a diet, so आप donuts नहीं खाते हैं मेरे ख्याल से because I know that you are really following a strict diet and all. But I think I think I just want to tell, I mean, everybody here on who's listening to us today, life is too short. Enjoy it, while you're here. Just live it. Live the life that you want to live, and don't get so serious all the time. Have moments of enjoyment, pleasure, and really, थोड़ा एक punch, थोड़ा एक humor लाना जरूरी है life में. So I think don't look at success like a it's very serious thing. Look at it something that you're going to enjoy during the journey of success.
What you said
Wonderful,
right now,
wonderful.
just
Hmm.
what you said right now, I'll just share a very small story, okay? And probably that will
Hmm.
be the last of my side, I guess.
Sure.
So, what happened in Mahabharat now? So,
Hmm.
one day now, Guru Drona tells all his disciples, कि आज में, there's a test, okay? And all
Hmm.
you need to do is, whoever pierces the eye of the bird ना, उसे हम
Hmm.
विजय घोषित कर देंगे. तो जो दुर्योधन आते हैं, पहले मैं
Hmm.
कोशिश करूंगा. जैसे गुरु द्रोण को कहता है, ठीक है, तुम लगाओ
Hmm.
निशाना. तो जैसे दुर्योधन निशाना लगाते हैं ना, तो गुरु द्रोण
Hmm.
पीछे खड़े और उस वक्त वो दुर्योधन को पूछते हैं, दुर्योधन क्या तुम मुझे देख सकते हो? अब दुर्योधन ऐसे खड़े थे, गुरुद्रोण पीछे खड़े थे. वो पलट के,
Hmm.
हाँ गुरुदेव मैं देख सकता हूँ, मतलब तुम साइड आ जाओ. और ऐसे करके ना हर एक भाई को पूछते हो, सबको साइड में करते थे. युधिष्ठिर भी साइड हो
Correct.
जाते और भीम भी साइड हो जाते. अब अर्जुन
Hmm.
की बारी है.
Hmm.
अर्जुन निशाना लगा के खड़े हो जाते हैं.
Hmm.
अब गुरुद्रोण ने पूछते हैं, अर्जुन क्या तुम मुझे देख सकते हो? अर्जुन
Hmm.
कहते नहीं गुरुदेव. सूर्य दिख रहा है? नहीं गुरुदेव. आकाश दिख रहा है? नहीं गुरुदेव. तुम्हें
Hmm.
पहाड़ दिख रहे हैं? नहीं गुरुदेव. पेड़ दिख रहा है? नहीं गुरुदेव. डाली दिख रही है? नहीं गुरुदेव. पत्ते दिख रहे हैं?
Hmm.
नहीं गुरुदेव. चिड़िया दिख रही है? नहीं गुरुदेव. क्या दिख रहा है अर्जुन? आग दिख रही है. बोलते तीर चला अर्जुन और वो पियर्स कर
Hmm.
देते. नाउ
Hmm.
ओवर हियर, so this is one of the qualities of Arjuna that we always highlight is his focus on goal.
Yeah,
Okay. Now, a
absolutely.
lot of people feel that a lot of people feel that Arjun was Arjun a nerd? No, he was not a
Hmm.
nerd. He was a great dancer. He was a great musician. He was a
Hmm.
flamboyant personality. What he
Hmm.
meant was, whatever work you're doing now, your focus should be in that work.
Hmm.
So if you're partying now, party hard with your friends. If you're
Hmm.
sleeping now, sleep well. But
Hmm.
when you're working now, don't get distracted. अगर आज गुरु द्रोण होते
Right.
ना तो अर्जुन को अवश्य पूछते, अर्जुन क्या तुम्हें व्हाट्सएप दिखाई दे रहा है, इंस्टा दिखाई दे रहा है, यूट्यूब दिखाई दे रहा है, फेसबुक दिखाई दे रहा है, लिंक्डइन दिखाई दे रहा है. अर्जुन अगर कहते हाँ भाई तू अर्जुन नहीं बन सकता, साइड हो जाओ. Because आज वो
Good one, good
distraction.
one.
So I always tell people that social media is important. Like you and I, we
Yeah.
both are on social media. I'm not a
Hmm.
hypocrite, but what happens is, are you ruling the social media or social media ruling you? That is a
Hmm.
very important question. One needs to be honest about it. You want to, because time, as you rightly said
Hmm.
in the end, time is the only resource that is in
Hmm.
limited, form we have. And the worst part is I also don't know how much time is left.
Hmm.
So I always tell people, enjoy, as you rightly said, enjoy whatever you're doing now, be in that moment, enjoy that moment. But when
Hmm.
you're working, don't get distracted. क्योंकि कभी कभी क्या होता है, हम जब खाना खा रहे होते हैं हम काम के बारे में सोचते हैं, और जब काम
Hmm.
कर रहे होते हैं हम खाने के बारे में सोचते हैं, तो हमारा
Yeah.
फोकस ना इधर उधर हो गया है तो फोकस
And
से वो काम में
given
लगे
today's
जाता
life, today's world that we are living in, full of distractions and full of
है।
interruptions. So,
है।
एक बहुत mindset बहुत strong होना चाहिए to be really self focused on whatever you want to do. Because एक छोटा notification आ जाता है, एक smiley आ जाता है, एक thumbs up आ जाता है WhatsApp पे, या हमारा पूरा दिमाग वहां चला जाता है. So I think that's I mean, if you really want to go on your path of success and growth, I think it's very, very important to be focused, as Rishi said, focus on your goals, and whatever you're doing, give it your 100% attention. Lovely, fantastic. Any questions from the audience? You all want to ask anything to Rishi or me? Please go ahead and put in your question in the chat box. We're almost towards the end of our superb interaction that we are doing right now. अगर कोई question है, कोई query है related to personal excellence, put it in the chat box. We'd love to answer it for you all. ऋषि, can you see any questions? मुझे तो अभी तक कोई question नहीं दिखाई दे रहे हैं.
या तो उनको सब समझा, कुछ नहीं समझा।
what audience is this? सब कुछ समझ में आ रहा है या बिल्कुल नहीं समझ में आ रहा है? I'm sure सब समझ में आ रहा है. We have very smart audience with us today. Lovely. So I think, just to summarize whatever we have discussed in this conversation for everybody who has joined late, just a quick summary. So we've spoken about what is personal excellence, why is personal excellence important in our, growth, in our journey, and everyone wants success. How do you have those qualities जो important होती हैं successful बनने के लिए? How much you need to really focus on yourself. In internal development क्यों जरूरी है, self development improvement क्यों जरूरी है, because that is the only thing which will take you far in life. Also we spoke about certain things like habits को कैसे, how do you stick to your habits, very important. Discipline कैसे रहना है, focusing on your goals, very important. And as Rishi mentioned, your why has to be very, very clear. So why आप जो भी कुछ कर रहे हैं उसका why क्या है, deeper purpose meaning क्या है. If your why is clear, you will definitely be able to be on your path of growth and success, definitely. So I
I
think
think
this is
Pradeep sir
all
has
we.
asked a question.
Oh,
Pradeep
is
ji
there?
has asked a
Okay.
question. How to motivate my team to work hard, I guess that's what he meant.
Okay, yes, Pradeep. Rishi, want to take that?
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Now what happened, na Pradeep ji, over here, so अभी क्या था ना, दो अप्रोच होते हैं, ओके, कॉर्पोरेट्स में. मैं आपको बहुत सिंपल तरीके बताता हूँ कि एक होता है कैरेट, एक होता है स्टिक अप्रोच. सो कैरेट इज ऑल अबाउट मोटिवेटिंग, रिवॉर्डिंग, अवार्ड, रिवॉर्ड, इंसेंटिव, फॉरेन ट्रिप, all those things, and then you expect them to work and deliver. And
Hmm.
second is, you talk about the stick approach where fear, threat, PIP, all those things will come into the picture. तो क्योंकि
Hmm.
इंडिया में क्या है कि या तो हम प्यार से काम करते हैं या वार से काम करते हैं, तो वो हमको बचपन से ही है.
Absolutely.
मम्मी ने कुछ बोला तो मोटिवेट करेगी, मम्मी चॉकलेट देगी, वरना सीधा थप्पड़ पड़ेगा, काम तो करना ही पड़ेगा हमको. तो हमको बचपन से आदत है इंडिया में, या तो प्यार करो या फिर वार से. बट व्हाट
Hmm.
हैपेंस इज ना, invariably it does not work all the time, and it will
Hmm.
never work. It will
Hmm.
never ever work all the time. और ये मैं अपने मतलब जो मेरे मन में, मैं उससे नहीं कह रहा हूँ, ये मेरे को भगवत गीता से समझ में आया. भगवत
Hmm.
गीता में वहाँ पे 700 श्लोक है, 18 अध्याय है. पहले अध्याय
Hmm.
में श्री कृष्ण का सिर्फ एक श्लोक है जहाँ पे वो कहते हैं
Hmm.
अर्जुन को कि देखो पार्थ, हम दोनों सेनाओं के बीच में आ गए. दैट्स इट. There's only one
Hmm.
श्लोक of Sri Krishna in the entire first chapter. He doesn't speak at all. फिर
Hmm.
सेकेंड जब स्टार्ट होता है ना, तभी भी अर्जुन के कुछ वर्ड्स आते हैं. एंड देन वेर मोटा मोटा अर्जुन टेल्स हिम दैट कब से मैं ही बात कर रहा हूँ, आप तो कुछ कह ही नहीं रहे हो. तब
Hmm.
कृष्ण कहते हैं कि तुम कह रहे हो ना, मैं सुन रहा हूँ, जब मैं बोलूंगा तुम सुनना. अब कहो
Hmm.
तुम क्या कहना चाहते हो. नाउ व्हाट हैपेंड ओवर हियर ना, he did not assume, you
Hmm.
know, what will motivate Arjuna. He did
Hmm.
not assume. He did not assume that, carrot will work. He did not assume stick will work. He
Hmm.
was listening very carefully to Arjun, and when he realized that the
Hmm.
problem is not, about the materialistic world, when
Hmm.
Arjun says, "Why is this war happening? I don't want to fight," and all those things, he
Hmm.
started listening to Arjun very carefully, and he understood it's more of a emotional challenge that he's going through it. It's a spiritual
Hmm.
journey that he's through it. There's something
Hmm.
that is, disturbing him. So what he did, he collated the entire data.
Hmm.
And then he started answering. So then we have, come up with this formula that we call, which we have mentioned in a book also, Break Your Leadership Chakra. We call SMS formula.
Hmm.
S stands for
Okay.
समझो. पहले
Hmm.
समझो कहना क्या चाहता है. Focus on
Hmm.
the context. Don't
Hmm.
go on the words. Because a lot of
Hmm.
people are not blessed with the art of articulation. वो कहना क्या चाहता है उसको समझो पहले. तो
Hmm.
पहले श्री कृष्ण समझ गए कि उसको प्रॉब्लम क्या है. Then
Hmm.
comes मान जाओ. Then
Hmm.
he started to, accept reality that Arjun is
Hmm.
not interested in heaven, hell, being the king or whatever. He is
Hmm.
interested to know the journey of self-excellence or, the journey of the soul. So now,
Hmm.
as a manager, I need to accept what he or
Hmm.
she wants, what they don't want, what I can give, what I cannot give, accept reality then and then only without being, being unconscious biased towards it. Don't be
Hmm.
biased towards it. क्या है मान लो. Then comes
Hmm.
this third letter, the second is समझाओ.
Hmm.
Then you start explaining to them, समझो मान जाओ समझाओ. So Priyanka ma'am, you cracked it, before I said, but yes. So what happened is that is what Sri Krishna did. And if you see a lot of good motivational or great motivational speaker now, they will not speak. They will
Hmm.
first listen to that person extremely carefully.
Hmm.
Because incentives now is also a vicious circle, by the way. It's a
Hmm.
vicious circle. Why I say that is, let's say for example, Richa ma'am gives me some work. ऋषि तू ये काम करते तेरे को ₹1,00,000 मिलेगा. मैंने कर दिया, अब
Hmm.
₹1,00,000 देंगे. अब अगली
Hmm.
बार मुझे काम कराने के लिए फिर आपको ₹1,00,000 देना पड़ेगा. Because you have
Hmm.
set the benchmark. Now, if you don't give me
Absolutely.
money, I'm actually demotivated. And now,
Hmm.
worst is that, worst is
Hmm.
like, you give that incentive to two of us,
Hmm.
and the other person gets that incentive, and that
Hmm.
person goes to Paris. आईफिल
Hmm.
टावर के उधर खड़े होकर फोटो क्लिक करा के मुझे टैग करता है, मिस यू भाई.
Hmm.
I will more demotivated. Now, for me to get out of it again, you'll have to incentivize. It's a vicious
Yeah.
circle.
And I
But
think
if
the
you
most
just
important thing is internal motivation, करना चाहिए. The person has to be internally motivated. Can't give them too many rewards, recognition, because वो कब तक देते रहेंगे, as you
all the
mentioned,
benchmark.
benchmark.
So
So
yeah, so
you
that
have
is
to
that is his
ensure that
practice.
you're talking to your people regularly.
True, true.
Talking to them, listening to them, as you mentioned, very
True,
important.
true, true. So listen to them, Pradeep ji. Listen to them very carefully. Don't be biased over this. Don't interrupt. I think that's the
Hmm.
beauty of Sri Krishna. He did not interrupt Arjun at all. In the first chapter, he had the
Hmm.
patience to listen because he
Hmm.
wanted to understand real में problem क्या है.
Hmm.
Because if he would have given the solution before, Arjuna have opened up, again it would have not. I don't think so. It would have helped Arjun. So I think that's the
Hmm.
biggest learning that we had from the entire Bhagavad Gita. समझो मान जाओ समझाओ. And
Very
once you do
nice.
that,
Very
Pradeep sir.
interesting. SMS formula.
SMS formula. And then Pradeep sir, it will genuinely, we have used it multiple times, and people will, because they'll feel, मेरा boss मेरे बारे में कुछ सुनना चाहता है, मेरी तकलीफ सुन
Hmm.
रहा है. And if you don't have
Hmm.
a solution, then बेटा नहीं है. जब होएगा
Hmm.
देखेंगे. Don't beat around the bush. समझो मान जाओ समझो and keep moving, because I
Hmm.
think that's the great way to, lead a team over there. Yeah.
Fantastic. I hope, Pradeep, sir, your question was answered. Thank you, Rishi, for that wonderful, insightful, informative answer. I'm sure it was beneficial to many other people as well in the audience. Lovely. Any other questions from the audience side? Do you want to have any clarification, any doubts to be clarified? Please go ahead and ask your question. I think it was, a superb learning, Rishi. Love the stories that you mentioned over here. So informative, so insightful. So thank you so much for that. And I would encourage all of you to, really learn as much as you can from Rishi. He's a wonderful person and a good human being, I think, more than anything else. Gaurav wants to know, can you please repeat SMS? SMS का
So
full form वापस
SMS.
एक बार.
Yeah, sure. So, girls, it means S stands for Samjho. So let's say whenever you're having any conversation, it could be, when for a sales deal, whatever deal you're going, first understand the other person's concern. Okay, what are the
Hmm.
challenges they're going through? What are the issues? Listen without interrupting them. If you want, you can jot it down. Samjho. Focus on the context, not on the words, not on the tone, not on the body language. Don't complicate things. Focus on
Hmm.
the context. M stands for manjao. Okay, then you start accepting reality, what you can give, what you cannot give, what the other person wants. Don't be biased
Hmm.
towards it. Accept reality. What you can give, then try to give. What you cannot, forget. And then
Hmm.
start explaining it to them. Samjhao. That is what you need to do. Samjho, manjao, samjhao.
Hmm.
So yeah.
Lovely. Thank you for that, repeating that, Rishi. Great. So I think that brings us to the end of our live session. Guys, please follow Rishi. Wonderful human being, wonderful person. And Rishi, you can also ask the audience to follow me in case you feel there is
No,
some
no,
value
definitely. I
addition
tag
there.
you everywhere. But yeah, but I honestly, like, Richa is in a very good space, if you watch her videos and all, I'm a huge fan of her videos. She knows that. I always keep liking and commenting and sharing. It's very nice, She
And I
gives a
must
lot of
say,
nice
Rishi, you are
tips.
the catalyst who, who really inspired me to kind of get back to the videos because बीच में वो बिल्कुल चला ही गया था almost. But I remember that one conversation we had, and you really encouraged me, and I think that's where I kind of started again. So thank you for that.
Correct, correct. It's just one second. Someone, Priyanka ma'am has said, as a student, how can I stick to my goal? Because sometimes I'm unable to manage my time. At that time, I feel demotivated. अरे
Hmm.
प्रियंका मैम ये क्वेश्चन का आंसर तो मतलब सबको ही चाहिए होता है बट अगेन गोइंग बैक प्रियंका मैम व्हाट आई वुड पर्सनली सजेस्ट इज दैट राइट डाउन let's say which course what are you doing ma'am Priyanka ma'am if you can just let us know very quickly now what are you doing like graduation or MBA or in any specialization field what you're doing because we have covered that point but yeah thank you Ashutosh sir you're kind with your words but Priyanka ma'am if you could just let me know now very quickly what are you doing like so whichever course you're doing now first thing we covered that point I think you should first write down why you want to do it I'll tell you I'll tell you honestly I didn't have get that great marks in my school and but when I did my MBA and that
She's
time
done.
oh
She's doing
अरे
her
यार
MBA
ठीक है
from
आवाज
Sri
सुनी नहीं
Balaji.
अरे sorry okay so yeah so Priyanka ma'am we too can correct one to one also long that's not an issue but the point is that you need to be very clear the course that you're doing why you want to do it you have to be absolutely clear you also need to be clear as you're doing your MBA which organization you want to join you got 2 years in your hand study that organization connect with people on LinkedIn understand what they're doing what are the qualification what are the experience what are the posts that they're doing and then probably when you see a bigger picture now and that is where your focus will be there because a lot of time as I was saying till grad now my marks are not that great but in MBA I realized that if I don't study now my career will go for a toss I didn't get distracted after that I've never got distracted I think that realization needs to come that this is make it or break it that moment now then everything falls into place so I guess
Absolutely.
yeah so Priyanka ma'am but I guess Priyanka ma'am you and I can obviously you're one of my student only we can definitely touch base on that.
Superb, superb. So I think there are no more questions from the audience. Thank you once again, everyone, for being here. Thank you for taking out time from your busy schedule to attend this. I hope this session was enriching for all of you, as it was for me also. Rishi, thank you so much for being there, and I appreciate it completely. So take care. Thank you so much,
Thank you
everyone. Bye
so
bye.
much.
Good
Bye.
night. Take care. See you all.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye bye.